This is Subia from Law Info. Why NRC in Assam Reasons and History? NRC means National Register of Citizen of India. The National Register of Citizen (NRC) is a register maintained by the Government of India containing a name, certain relevant of information for the identification of all the genuine Indian citizens. The register was first prepared after the 1951 census of India, and since then it was not been updated till recently. The Northeast Indian state of Assam has become the first state in India where the updation of NCR is being taken up to include the name of those persons whose name appeared in NRC. And 51 is still alive or not their presently living descendant having permanent residence within the state. However, due to the amendment carried out in the Indian Citizenship Act 1955, the State Register of Citizen for the state of Assam, which perform a part of the National Register of Citizen, has also been held to be legal to the contain name of the person whose name appeared at the least in any of the electoral roll published for any of the assembly constituents with the territorial limits for the present date state of Assam up to a midnight of the March 1971, and also of the descendant of such person presently having permanent residence with the state. A person residing in the present state of Assam is also eligible to get his or her name entered in the register if he or she told that submit to registering authority any of the certain specific document issue of the midnight of 1924 March 1971 against his or her name or its names of his or ancestor, which would prove the holders or ancestors present with the territory limits of the present India state of Assam, which is peculiar situation in which the only person who has entered into the territory limits the present state of Assam of the midnight of 2197 from the neighboring country Bangladesh, or any of the person descendant can claim to be an Indian citizen of the state of Assam throughout the India by dint of presence of his or her own self or ancestor within the territory limits of the present day state of Assam only, but no other Indian state for the matter. In case of the descendants, they further have to hold or submit to the registering authority another specific piece of the documentation proving his or her blood relationship with the person whose name did appear in NCR 1951. The process of updation of the state part of the NCR in the state Assam started in the year 2013 when the Supreme Court of India passed an order for its updation. Since then, Supreme Court bench of the Justice of Indian Ranjan Gogoi and Rohinton Fali Nariman has been monitoring it continuously. Then this entire process is conducted by the Mr. Pratik Hajela, an officer from the Indian Administrative Service cadre, who have been designed as the state coordinator of the national registration is Assam is carried national registration Assam and carried out under the monitoring the Supreme Court of India, which has been holding time to appearing on representation made it by the various parties stakers hold. The purpose of NCR update in the state of Assam is to identify Indian citizens from among the all present residents of state, thereby leading to identification of illegal migrants resident in that state who entered into it after the midnight of 24 March 1920 who entered into it after the midnight of 24 consideration and more or less uncertain on 3rd September 2019, a major opposition party in Bangladesh, namely Bangladesh National Party, expressed its view that the people excluded from the National Register of Citizens in Assam midnight to be sent back to the Bangladesh. During the 19th-20th century, colonial Assam witnessed intermittent migration of populace from the rest of the province of British India in the aftermath the Yandover Treaty, which brought the region under the control of British. The liberal attitude of the colonial authority encouraged the migration of peasants from the Bengal to Assam in search of fertile lands. As early as 1931, C.S. Mullah, the census superintendent, in his census report stated the migration surged, especially that of the Hindu Bengali people from the state Pakistan, presently Bangladesh, in 1971, after the India's independence and subsequent partition into two separate countries, namely the Hindu dominant India and Muslim dominant Pakistan. Following partition, Pakistan consisted of two isolated land masses, one being the Pakistan in the west of the India and other being the East Pakistan in the eastern side of it. Demarcation was loose and without any the Robert's physical barrier or offering along with the between Pakistan and India. Post-partition, East Pakistan suffered from the political turmoil and witnessed civil unrest, which finally led to the civil war and separation of East Pakistan from the Pakistan, and new country Bangladesh came into being, consisting of all the geographical area of East Pakistan. There occurred mass exodus of the population from the war-torn region into the Indian side, and the most of these refugees never returned, except from the white paper on the foreigner issue published by the Home and Political Department, Government of Assam, on October 2012. Thank you.